Hello, I'm Chef Michael Ferrazzani, and today I'm going to be making a Gorgonzola and Tomato Bruschetta. This is a classical appetizer. It goes very, very well at any beginning of any beautiful Italian dinner. What we start off with is 1 cup of crumbled imported Gorgonzola cheese, a cup of fresh Roma tomatoes that have been diced, 8 basil leaves that have been washed and chopped finely, 2 tablespoons of virgin olive oil, we have some fresh garlic cloves, and some salt and pepper. And of course we have 1 French stick or Italian stick. What I like to do is cut the French stick in about 1-inch slices of bread, and I like to cut it on the bias. It just makes the slice just a little bit longer. And we're going to put those on a cookie sheet, and we're going to bake these at 375 for roughly 4 to 5 minutes until the bread browns up nicely. Now we've baked our garlic bread to a nice golden brown. And the next step, while the bread is still warm, you want to rub some fresh garlic cloves right on the bread. And this gives it a beautiful garlic flavor to it. And you want to make sure you get both sides of the bread. As you can see, it's nicely lightly toasted on the outside. It's still pretty tender on the inside of the bread. That's why you want to bake it at a relatively high temperature of 375. And you want to kick your oven up to about 400 degrees for the next step. So then we're going to take our toasted bread, put it back on the cookie sheet. And we're going to take our Gorgonzola cheese and our Roma tomatoes and our fresh basil. And we're just going to toss that around a little bit. And the next step is to take our bread, and with a pastry brush, we just want to lightly paint the bread with the virgin olive oil. And with our hands, or you can use a spoon. I like to use my hands. I like to get right into it. We're going to put some of this beautiful Gorgonzola cheese and the tomatoes on top of the bread. And we're going to bake this at 400 degrees for about 6 to 8 minutes. What you want is that the cheese to really melt on the bread and the tomatoes to heat up. And it'll be very fragrant, and this is a great starter to any meal. Now we're going to take our bruschetta out of the oven. As you can see, the cheese is really melted nicely on the toast. And we're just going to put this on a beautiful platter for presentation. It's very, very fragrant with the Gorgonzola cheese and the virgin olive oil and the plum tomatoes. This is nothing short of spectacular for an appetizer. And I just like to put a little chopped parsley on this. And there you have it. Molto bene. We have bruschetta Gorgonzola.